Before we get started, I would just like you to introduce yourself to everyone, your name, your age, where are you from, and what do you do for a living, maybe a little bit about your family. So, yeah, you can kick off.
Okay. All right. So, firstly, I must say I'm a member of Platinum Life. My name is Viloshini Narainsamy. I've got two beautiful kids. I've got an energetic husband. In many ways, yes. Being the owner of this company, Ultimate Cars, I love what I do. Taking my policy with you guys was one thing,
Yes.
but this year and last year, I got to know Platinum Life as an extended family.
Sure, that's
And I was
amazing.
amazed at the support. I promise you, I did not get that support from my even immediate family.
Viloshini, I'm going to ask you now, it's just a little bit more serious, on a serious note. What led to you being diagnosed? How did you find out that you've got breast cancer?
Right. So last year during lockdown, it was the initial shock of just being enclosed, and I was stressed out about the business, worried, busy with TERS, the UIF, paying the rental, worried about my employees, and then it came to June, right? And I just had this horrible pain in my chest.
Sure.
But because I had in 2017, I had a triple heart bypass, right? And the bypass went all wrong. I had come home, and 8 days later, I had total heart failure. They had to revive me, actually in the lift.
What?
My pressure was 36/40, right? So I had a pleural infusion where the body had built up water, and it had to be done. But I'm so connected with my body. I know when I'm not right.
Yes.
Right? So I thought, no, maybe due to the stress of this COVID, that my chest is paining. So the pain was so severe, I started stripping, and to tell you, I was standing naked in my lounge and asking for different t-shirts or different stuff to put on me, because the sensitivity was so bad on the chest, but I still couldn't tell you where it was coming from. So my initial reaction was, let me take an anti-inflammatory, bring down the inflammation, and let's see if it could help.
Yes.
So here came the Microdol 2. It did help, right? Phoned Lake Smith. I said to them, you know what, can you book me a mammo? So they asked me under whose request. I said my request.
Yes, sure.
It was gone very restrictive on who they're allowing in due to COVID.
Yes.
So I had one a month later. That's how they could not give me a booking. So when I went in for the mammo, the lady said to me, just hold on, we need to do a scan on you, right? Ultrasound. They come back, they leave me sitting. So she says to me, are you having pain on your left-hand side? I said, at this point, there's pain throughout this body.
Sure.
But I can tell you there's something going on in the chest area.
Yes.
So she says to me, we've contacted your gynae. She's going to call you urgently. She phones me, she says to me, do not come and see her. Go straight to the surgeon because they suspected Paget's disease.
What?
Paget's disease is a vicious form of cancer on the areola. Right? And that has a tendency to just flare and move viciously. Right? So I went to the surgeon, and I know him quite well because he's assisted me with hernia repair in the past year. Yeah. So he was sharp with me, and he says to me, you know what? We can't chance this. Your mammogram's not looking good. We got to take you to theatre, but I will get a pathologist in there so there's no time wasted and we can give you a diagnosis straight away.
Sure, so that's amazing.
So he said, if it is, and you are a heart patient, what would your decision be? Would you like to go for extensive chemo, which you can't go because you got heart issues and you had a triple heart bypass?
Sure.
Or do we take the entire thing off? So I said to him, I promise you, I was glued in my chair because I said, you know what are you on a holiday because I just had a triple heart bypass? How can you do this to me?
Exactly. Yeah.
I still said to myself, no, it cannot be. This is not true. Okay, so I go in, I did the COVID test, I go in on the 6th of July. My family, the children, were all at the office here. I was the first on the slate in theatre. And they did pick it up, and he called them and he said to them, you have 1 second to tell us. Do we take it out? She's got cancer, or do? But he said to them, he had a chat with me.
Sure.
And I did. So it was a quick reaction. They said to remove it. He removed it. I tell you, in recovery in ICU, I just felt my chest and I felt, gosh, there's something gone. But the pain, Jani, was so bad. And everything is coming back to me because it was emotionally traumatic, right? Yeah. There's COVID. I am sitting with all strange people, and I remember saying to them, and I actually swore and I said, I need more painkiller. And he said to them, you given your max? I said, max it. And then he just gave me more morphine, right? And I said, now you got to give me something for the morphine because my whole body bloody itches. He says, you know everything, and I passed out. Yeah. So
sure.
I know my body. Right? I tell you, it was so bad because I get to my ward, and I mean, this pain would not stop. Right? I didn't know whether it's my heart paining, the area of operation that's sore, but I promise you, the treatment was so bad because of COVID. And then they found across me who has COVID, and they moved me so fast into a private ward, and they forget about me. Where you can't find a nurse, you can't find water. You're ringing the bell, and then they're talking to you outside the door, and I told them, let it get inside, I don't have the COVID.
Yeah.
I need. Then I feel the 2 drains, and I went to use the toilet for the first time, and with no assistance, and I had to actually tear the toilet roll with my mouth because I'm holding 2 drains.
Oh, Yalla, that's horrible.
I get that, but he was such a fantastic man and surgeon, sympathetic. When he came in there, he says to me, I told him, I'm suffering.
Yes.
He made a big noise and he said to them, get her geared up and we'll send her home tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
In the interim, my daughter phoned me to tell me that the father-in-law is on the bed of dying. He's old, he's 95.
Yalla, sure.
So I'm on the phone with her, and I'm just assisting and reassuring her and coaching her along the way, and I'm telling her, tell him to let go of life and just tell him to ease himself, and then he just passes away.
Oh my word.
So he dies, I get discharged, we come home. That very first night, the area of wound, I think I pulled the stitch so it bled so bad. We did the stitching. I helped to organize the funeral. I go to the funeral. I put the 2 drains in this plastic bag, like a Louis Vuitton bag, to make it all classy now. And we go to say goodbye to this old man.
Yalla, sure.
Right? And in all that, the pain, but I did it. I needed to do it. And then we were dressing it because my daughter is sharp. I told her what to do, what dressings. And then I had a wound lady come over. right? After many calls, she came, she removed the one drain, she plugged it. I had to, if I didn't have my daughter helping me, the bathing was intense. And then
I can only imagine,
and then when you stand up and you realize your balance is off because you don't have another part of you. That was one thing. Secondly, when you put on a t-shirt and then you realize that you're not your own self anymore. That was a knockout.
Yeah.
So I tried hard. I stayed quiet for a few days. And then my surgeon said to me, you need to see a psychologist. So I said to him, am I going to pay her to tell me that I don't have a boob anymore? I can tell her that. Right? So I said to him, I ain't paying nobody for no psychology treatment. Right? I Googled the prosthesis. There was a lady in the medical center who was doing fitment for bras.
Yes.
Breast cancer. And then I started my lymphatic treatments because the hand was building up with fluid because I had 11 lymph nodes removed as well.
Sure.
So you build up the water on the entire area and that makes the body stiff. And with that water build up, the chest was building up. So my Lasix that I take was just not doing the job.
Sure.
So I was going to the chiro, having acupuncture, massages, going home, doing the exercise, and then that wasn't enough. So I was referred to a fantastic physiotherapist, and they only deal with lymphatic drain for mastectomies. And I handled that so well. She was
amazing.
Beautiful. And there was one bra, I remember she'll tell me, do not wear that one. That doesn't suit you, makes you look old, because she used to love me wearing the black and blue one that I had.
Yes.
So I used to tell her, but you're going to oil me, I need to use this very bad looking one.
Yes, yeah.
And then when I would go for weighing, I would tell her, please take that thing out, because alone that prosthetic is like a kg on itself. So I've come from having no boob to having one during the day, one nothing at night. And it's okay, it has changed me. There's a lot of my clothes that are not right for me anymore. Right? But these are small hiccups in life. And I'll get through it. Definitely. I will get through it. The doctors were amazed that I could pick up a stage 1 cancer. that I didn't let it go to where it would have been. It could have been worse.
It could have been, and I think there's a lot of ladies, out there. You feel sometimes, hey, something's not right, and then you're like, oh, never mind, So I think what you just said, it's so important to really listen to your body and to make that move, because it is not going to be, it's not definitely there's going to be bad news, but they can help you, they can sort you out, and you can live your life. So.
And now my life was like right in the body. Right? And only when you go for checkups to the gynae and she decides to feel around your breast area, she tells you, no, fatty tissue here, fatty tissue there. Sometimes she doesn't know herself.
Ay, Viloshini, and do you have any family history of cancer in your family? Or?
You know what? My mom had a suspected one, but she went to a government hospital, and all in trueness, if I tell you, they actually used her as a guinea pig. She had no cancer. I think she was used without proper diagnosis. They had taken her, and we were in Durban. Her children were all away, and she didn't consult with them. They had removed her breast without her having been diagnosed with anything.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So No, but on my father's side, his sister, she had passed on with breast cancer, and the other sister, she had cancer of the kidneys. So,
Sure.
yeah. But not everyone's going to tell you the story if they have cancer or breast cancer, right? So along the way, there could be a lot of other ones in the queue or in my club, so-called. Yeah.
I think in any family it works like that, just as you just said.
Yes. And you know what? I didn't have a problem with anyone finding out. I just needed support or advice because all negativity is not going to help you. And I wasn't prepared to speak to anyone professional about. I won't lie to you. When you stand in front of the mirror and you really look at yourself, and you get some time, and you're following your night routine, you're trying to apply all your layering of your tissue oils, and you're trying to keep this body good. So whoever's bathing you when you die says, "What a good-looking corpse you have." You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But there's modern stuff that can fix it. But yes. I'm gonna wait. Yeah.
And during this process also, when you receive the treatment, you have medical aid, and did they cover everything?
You know what? I spend so much on medical aid. If I have to tell you that our medical aid now is on to 11,000. Right? The oncology section, we're very good. That they've given me my proper meds, not the generics, because my oncologist insisted that the Arimidex that I take for the next 5 years is that dosage. But the side effects, feel the headache, that it brings on early menopause. So it puts everything else in your life on pause.
Yes. And how long do you have to take these tablets now?
5 years. So you must know it's the heart medication and it's the psychology, but and I always make sure that the medical aid is up to standard and my benefits are okay, because I'd rather do that than going on a holiday or splashing out on something else. These are important things in life.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. And during your process also now with Platinum Life, I want to find out, Viloshini, your experience with Platinum Life from the before, during, and after, your diagnosis. How did you experience it?
Okay, so when I got home and after I eased off on getting myself going, getting myself walking through, and then I said to myself, let me look at my policy. And then I said, let's test Platinum Life if it really is what they say they are, right? So I sent the email stating that I've been diagnosed and what's the procedure do I follow, and immediately I had a response, and certain stuff was requested from me, which I had all on hand, because if everything is done in the proper way, you got proper supporting documents. So I had the pathologist reports, the surgeon, from the gynae, and I just sent that all through, and it was, I mean, you know what, they would let you know they're in processing, they're having a look at your stuff, and then I get an email stating, yes, and you're going to be settled with this X amount of money because I've been on Platinum Life, I think, from 2009. Yes, that's when I opened my first company.
Sure, it's amazing.
And I took it, and thereafter I've given Platinum Life many of my friends' numbers, and they've been, one or two have taken policies. And I think everyone was more excited about the freebies that came.
Yes.
And I continued with Platinum Life when there was an increase, and I think I did take an accident death cover. Then I realized, no, I got a heart condition. No, I'm not going to die in an accident. This for me is going to, this is going to be a health issue here. This definitely, I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
So I updated, and then I took out the accidental, kept the health one on, paid a bit more, but I promise you, the service and the way I was paid out, there was no hassle. There was just no hassle at all. They made it so easy that my recovery was even better. You know, and if I tell my friends, I've spoken to a few, like my broker, she's a female. My accountant, she's a female. Right? I work with all ladies because we are on the ball.
We are on the ball, I agree.
And along the way, I've said to them, you know what, think about it, step up your policies. That's the only way you can. There's no guarantee that you're going to get it. But if it does happen, you are covered.
Then you are covered. And also, I think it removes the stress, probably, you know, for a lot of people, having that money come in, you can just relax, know that everything will be covered. No.
And especially for those who don't have a fantastic medical aid, this money comes in to better yourself. Like they could have got a prosthetic bra, the prosthetic bra itself, and my medical aid paid for 4 bras, right? And the prosthetic boob itself. That boob looks so real.
Yeah, Viloshini, I also want to ask you, this is now the last question, but you're just so fantastic. You're so positive, and you know, while you're speaking, there is so much, you know, there was a lot of pain, you know, during the diagnosis and the bypass and everything. What would be your advice for any lady out there, you know, who just heard I'm diagnosed with cancer, or someone who might hear it in a year or 2 years' time? What would be your advice for that person?
Okay, so when the doctor told me, the surgeon told me, it is cancer, but I need to make sure. I sat outside his surgery in the hospital with my mask on. Thank God for that, and I held my eyes out. But when I got into the car where my daughter was waiting for me, I told her I want to sit in the back seat. Now, normally I don't sit in the back seat because I want to see the road before the driver, right? And all the way home, I just cried. When I realized there's no moving back now, I've got to move forward, I said to myself, you're going to do this. But if you have a good structure, a good support, it doesn't have to be many people, right? You got to make your mind and yourself strong. Because this pandemic, with cancer being, it taught me a big lesson in life. It's what you make of it.
Yes.
Do you know there's only place for survivors here?
Yes, I agree.
There's only
with
place
you.
for survivors. Yes. Because never a day, I will wake up saying I'm feeling sick, I got pain here and there. And when I think what I have to do, I'm up and I'm gone and I get it going.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it going. Some days I'm not good. Those are the days I take it a bit easy, right? But I've built my mind to be strong.
You've got such a great family, and your kids, they are amazing. I mean, your son and your daughter.
My daughter's here with me.
Yalla.
I would like you to just see her. Then and then you'll know what pushes me on.
Hey, how are you? It's going good. You are so beautiful. Oh my word. Jeepers. Sure. It's so amazing to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. And I believe you played a substantial role in helping us get through one of the biggest hurdles, I think. I never expected that to happen, but it did happen. And your support really did, it pulled through, you know. Sometimes we couldn't do much, just having an external source to give us any type of support, it really did make a difference.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much for you. You are amazing. Your mom is amazing. She's really, I think, you know, I don't really think you know the impact that you're making in other people's lives. Also with this video, you know, so encouraging.
The body builds up this cancer faster than you think.
Yes.
And it's becoming common to find out, speak to someone, they let you know somebody else got cancer. It's become one of the most common diseases now that's out there.
Definitely, it is something that is so common, regardless now of the COVID, you know. But I also
Yes.
think, you know, with the COVID that's going on, I think people are also scared, you know, to go to the doctors as well. And that is also a problem. So they must listen to their bodies, as you said.